what about a day in the life while you're filming?
Oh gosh, okay, so let's just take a normal Saturday.
Are the cameras running truly the whole time?
Oh yeah. The cameras, like the surveillance cameras in the corners they're never off. And like we will legitimately get in trouble if we wanted to put like a towel over it, or if we accidentally unplug the camera. I'm trying to unplug the lights that are like, taped up around the ceiling. Because it's like, yes, we have lamps, but we also have production lighting. So like when we go to bed at night, we have to physically like unplug the production lighting so that it's dark. It's a mess. Anyways, so I would wake up on a Saturday usually because the lighting guy will knock on the door and come into my room.
So that's your alarm when you're filming.
That's the alarm. And I immediately will wake up and like sprint to the bathroom. I'm like, no, don't bring the cameras in right now. And like brush my teeth, wash my face, and or like rinse off and just like make myself look a little presentable. I'm usually like the bacon making girl.
It's a great job.
Yeah. Everyone loves it, right? You wake up the whole house in a nice, pleasant way with the smell of bacon. Everyone's very appreciative of me when I do that. So I'll go downstairs, put on, the oven to make bacon, and then, of course, make coffee. And we have a drip coffee there.
And is everyone getting up like around the same time? Like is production busting into everyone's room at the same time?
Pretty much. I mean, there's only like one lighting guy who they will they know based on the surveillance cameras like who's up. So they'll probably start with those rooms and then slowly make their way around the house.
A little respectful. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And 8 seasons in, do you ever forget that the cameras are there?
All the time. And especially if, I'm drunk. Like I got used to the cameras really quickly, even season 1. Like they're just there. And especially the surveillance cameras. But definitely when you're drunk, you're not paying attention.
It's not top of
mind.
I
have a lot of cringe moments where I'm like naked and changing or hooking up with a guy like on camera. And I'm like, no. Why did I do that? So I'm a little more aware now that I'm, 8 seasons in and I go to the bathroom to change instead of in front of the camera. But yeah, for the most part, you don't really pay attention.
Yeah.
Except for when I get back home to my apartment in the city and I'm like, I wake up like, where are the cameras?
Right.
Like
you're
looking at the corners of my apartment.
Yeah. It's like the idea of turning it off and turning it on and you going back and forth between your life being filmed and your life not.
Right. And then we'll either hang out at the pool, we'll start getting ready, we'll go do whatever activity we have planned for that day. We're filming all the way through, whether we go to the beach or... Which, like, if we go to the beach as an entire cast, it's like, you got to fill the coolers. You got to make the sandwiches to go inside the coolers. You have to, get all the towels and the beach games and
you guys are really doing all of that.
Oh, yeah. Like, we're the ones, like, preparing for the beach. So it's not like you could just pick up and go to the beach. Sadly, it's like a whole thing.
Do you have your phone during that time?
Yeah.
So you're allowed to still like engage with the outside world and...
Yeah, but like if you're involved in a lot of conversations, you're not exactly like, glued to your phone. Like there's so many times. Yeah, there's so many times on the weekends that all typically like sometimes we lose our phones in that house. And you're like, I don't know where my phone went. I haven't seen it in hours.
How many new phones have you had to get since starting to film Summer House?
Shockingly none. But there's definitely times that I had to go on like find my iPhone and I'm like, it says it's here.
It's somewhere under a cushion.
Yeah, basically.
Are there certain parts of the day that or like certain habits now that you formed in your filming kind of process and on those filming days?
It's hard. It really depends on like your mood or if like there were times last summer where like I was on my period and I don't know what happened, but I had the worst cramps. Sorry if that's TMI.
No. So what did you do?
Like they were like, you're going to play tennis. And I'm like, I don't want to play tennis. Like, you don't understand. I'm keeled over with cramps. Like, I wound up going to play tennis, but it took like, and I'm usually like the most like, I'll do whatever. And I just had a really tough time. But so it really just depends on your mood. But no, there's no like specific habits or routines that I've formed.
Do you get to maintain like the workout routine? You know, if you want to go for a run.
It's hard over summer. COVID summer, like in the middle of a pandemic, was a lot easier because we were stuck in the house for 2 months and we couldn't leave. But it is really hard. Like, the only time that you really have to work out is like first thing in the morning. But then first thing in the morning, you're typically like hungover from the night before.
What about like drinking is such a huge part of the show? I mean, it's social, it's nightlife, you know, you guys are living.
Yeah. It's like, it's the lifestyle of the Hamptons.
What do you do for your hangovers? Because like a hangover plus filming a TV show sounds kind of Ms.
Oh no, so Ms. Like, we learned pretty early on in the earlier seasons, like we would go out and like rage until 4 a.m. with our friends in Montauk, and then looking back and like, you're like, why did I do that? I look like a mess. Yeah, what do we do about our hangovers? Probably order breakfast sandwiches and bagels and try to soak it up as quickly as possible, and, you know, dip our face in cold ice water to get rid of the puffiness. I mean,
I saw in an episode recently someone was using the Skinny Confidential ice roller.
Yeah.
Who brought that to the house?
I don't know. Gabby usually has all sorts of like beauty stuff in the freezer, you know, rollers.
She takes care of everyone's skincare.
Sometimes, yeah. Like, she's really big on the skincare, especially like at night. You know, I'm always very impressed. Like, if someone goes to the club or has a late night and still comes home and fully washes their face and takes all their makeup off and puts their moisturizer on before going to bed, very impressive.
How often do you go to sleep in full glam versus not?
I'll definitely always get the makeup off with a makeup wipe.
That's a big step.
Well, it wasn't always like that. But
you
now,
wake up with makeup.
Now I'm scared of my
over.
dermatologist. So, you know, I've tried to keep it clean for her.
Do you ever have glam while you're filming, or are you always doing it yourself?
We do our own glam. The only time that we have glam is for our confessionals. You know, it's a show about like young, hot 20s, 30-year-olds. Now I guess Kyle's 41 and Carl's almost 40. But like, you know, in the Hamptons, in a beach town, you know.
Full glam maybe doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
like we're not like the housewives. So it's kind of, it would be like really strange for us to be in full glam for the most part, unless it's like a night out, right?
I guess like end of the day, you guys now have dinner.
Yeah.
What time is dinner normally taking place? Like there's so
Like
many moving parts.
8 or 9.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap whatever that like 12 hours is after we started filming. I think that there, you know, there's like union laws and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a 12-hour day. Otherwise you have to pay overtime or something. I don't know the laws and rules of, you know, the production side of it, but we'll probably end around like 11 or 12.
And do you ever like count down and you're like, okay, I know we started filming at 11 a.m. today. It's almost 11 p.m. Like, I know that this is about to be done. And like, you are so tapped out.
We're usually just like engaged in whatever's happening at that dinner. Like whatever conversation or fight or game we're playing, like you're in it. So you're not really paying attention to, you know, when you wrap filming, because you're just like, I mean, at least for me, I'm not counting down. I'm like, what is happening? You know, I'm usually the one in the hot seat at the dinner. So I'm always just like defending myself. And then they're like, okay, we're done. I'm like, thank God.
And is that truly like you are truly filming weekends and then going home and then coming back?
Yeah.
Okay. So
But we're also filming in the city during the week.
So how many days in a row are you filming until you truly get to be off camera?
5.
And what's the first thing you do when the cameras are off and you are on your own doing your thing?
I don't know. I usually go pretty easy on myself on Mondays, and then Tuesdays you're like right back at it. Like, okay, what's this upcoming weekend? Are we throwing a party? Do I need to invite people? What's the theme? I need to go get a costume. Like on it, like half of the job is like figuring out what you're wearing for the next weekend.
So come Tuesday, you're starting to prep and plan and prepare for all the next weekend's festivities.
Yeah.
And what about, you mentioned you have a new guy. Like,
I do.
Are you seeing him in between filming, or are you not even having time?
Yeah, we started dating in January. So I haven't been, I guess we'll see what happens this summer.
Okay.
But yeah, I would imagine, if I'm, gone in the Hamptons every single weekend, then as soon as I leave, I'm sure I'll see him.
Maybe he'll come visit you.
Maybe.
Who knows? Okay.
Yeah.
Tune in to the next season of Summer House.